ready for some football. I don't know about you. Who else could it be but your man Lou? Yeah.
Who else could it be but me, your man, Louie T. Welcome to Sunday Night Football Overtime. Chiefs, the Kansas City Chiefs, Super Bowl defending Kansas City Chiefs taking on the New York Jets. This was my survivor pool pick. And at 17-0, I had a drink. I was sitting back. I'm on my phone. I'm bullshitting around. Life is great. I don't have to worry about this game. This shit is over. The Jets suck. Zach Wilson can't throw a forward pass. They didn't even want to give him a chance last week. They were handing it off on first and second downs. This is going to be great. I got nothing to worry about. There's nothing better than your survivor pool pick taking care of business nice and early so you don't have to sweat it out. And as I'm bullshitting around on my phone, Jawan Taylor gets a safety. Whatever. 17-2. I don't care. And then Zach Wilson takes them down the field. They get a field goal. It's 17 of I don't care. It's 17. Whatever. Then Patrick Mahomes throws a pick. Interest is peaked. Do I need to put the phone down? It's Zach Wilson. It's 70. Whatever. Then Zach Wilson leads them on a touchdown drive. It's 17-12. Okay, time to put the phone away. What are we doing here, guys? Hey, woo-hoo. It's the Jets. Let's get their ass out of here. I got a survivor pool to win. Chop, chop. Let's go. So they get a field goal. It's 20-12. Jets are going towards the end zone before half, and I'm like, hey, guys, what are we doing here? Are we really doing this? Are we really doing this tonight? Because I've already done this today. I don't have another one of these games where heart palpitations are happening and I need a defibrillator. I don't have another one of these in me. Are we really doing this? And they've missed the field goal. I said, okay. The Jets are being the Jets. I'm good. This is going to be fine. And then Mahomes throws another pick. And they try to get back in the field goal range. And I'm like, oh, my God. What are we doing? So this thing goes to halftime at 20-12. They come out. Zach Wilson leads a confident, competent drive. I mean, he's on the money. He looks confident. They go for two. They got him bottled up. They let him get away. He gets in the end zone. It's tied at 20. And I'm thinking to myself, I don't have it in me. Guys, I'm spent. Not tonight. I just don't. I don't have it in me. I already lost one heartbreaker today. Don't take the survivor pool from me. Not in the same night. I can't. My brain just can't. It can't compute. Emotionally, I don't have the energy for this. Please, football gods. Come on, man. Stall me out. I'm begging you. Stall me out tonight, man. Hey, stall me out. I don't ask for much. Stall me out, man. They were special. The Jets were special tonight, boy. They had opportunities. They had Mahomes' ass rattled. Boy, they don't have no receiver. They don't have no receivers again. Hey, look. They better go get Devontae Adams' ass. They better stop bullshitting around. He wants out of Vegas. They better go get him. This shit is bad. Real bad. They got nothing. If Kelsey don't make a play, they don't have shit. It was the Isaiah Pacheco show. Can I just tell you that I think Isaiah Pacheco might be my favorite player in the league right now. Dude runs hard. First of all, the dude just plays hard, hair on fire every snap. Doesn't matter how hard he gets hit, what happens. He pops up, hands the ball to the official, runs back to the huddle. Dude play, fast as shit, runs hard. Anything you ask of this dude, he does it. He might be my favorite player in the league right now. It was his show tonight. He was at home. He went to Rutgers, right in his backyard. I'm happy for him playing the way he played tonight. Back in front of his guys. I'm pretty sure a lot of demands for tickets tonight. And he showed up and showed out in front of the hometown faithful. Good for him. Wouldn't have been surviving without him. Shout out to Isaiah Pacheco. I send out a tweet at 20 to 20, like, what the F is going on? Like, seriously? We doing this tonight? Because as I've already mentioned, I don't have it in me. Please tell me that y'all just bullshitting with the kid. You're effing around, having some fun, and you're going to clean up your act in the fourth quarter and put these boys away. No. We had to eke this bad boy out. A little field goal action, few penalties that I'll take them. Hey, I don't turn down charity. Never have, never will. You want to play, some soft zone, man-to-man, 50 yards down the field on 3rd and 22 and let Mahomes run for 25? Please. Be my guest. I applaud you for it. Okay? Mahomes throws his 3rd pick of the night. Not so fast, my friends. Like Lee Corso, right? Not so fast, my friends. Bring it back. Bring it back. Robert Saleh lost his shit, as he should have. Look, it was holding. It was holding. But we've seen a lot more not be called and a lot less. This was the type of game where that's not supposed to be called. But, hey, we're here. I needed it. I needed it. And then Mahomes said, hey, bro, I got you on this one. Don't worry about it. Nice little slide at the end. Boop. Game, set, match. Y'all go home, drive safe. 23-20. Chiefs are 3-1. Jets are 1-3. A disaster averted. I'm happy for Zach Wilson. Like, I got the best of both worlds. I like Zach Wilson. Y'all know that. I root for Zach. And every time he's on the brink of being abandoned, left on the side of the road, discarded like yesterday's trash, they get a primetime game like week 1 against the Bills. And he shows well enough to where you say, hey, wait a minute. There's something here. Don't give up on him yet. There's something here. We'll get to that. Let's talk about the Chiefs. Let's talk about the Chiefs for a second. This game, it was funny. I was talking to my wife in the kitchen before this game started. And she said, who's the Sunday night game tonight? And I go, Chiefs and Jets. First of all, no. Before we even get there, and I got to go with the clap. That's how serious this shit is. I got to go with the clap. Hope you didn't have your shit in your ear up all the way. I'm sorry. The claps were really loud. I was talking to my wife in the kitchen. And I said, over under on how many shots of Taylor Swift we going to get in the press box tonight. I said commercials included and replays included. She said, oh, shit. She said, let me get 11. I said, ooh, that's an aggressive number. That's aggressive. 11? I was thinking like 8. I counted 9 of those bitches tonight. And I told my wife, we were watching the first quarter, and I said, I got to sit through Chris Collinsworth slobbing down Mahomes, Andy Reid, and the Chiefs all night long. All night long. All night. All night long. All night. All night. And when they got out to 17-0, I said, oh, shit. It's going to be Mahomes. It's going to be Reid. It's going to be this Chiefs team. And then it's going to be Taylor Swift. God damn, I might have to put this bitch on mute. Between Mike Tirico's fascination with Taylor Swift and Chris Collinsworth fascination with Patrick Mahomes, we might get a slob down fest. I was in a lose-lose situation. There was no way I or anybody that wasn't a Swiftie could win tonight. And then the Jets said, hey, we got you, bro. And I was like, no. I'll take the Swiftie slob down. I'll take the Mahomes slob down. I don't want you taking the attention away from those two. don't impart and make this a fair fight. Don't make this a game. I'll take the goddamn abuse to ensure that I'm in this survivor pool. And they said, no, don't worry about it. I got you. I'm at home. You're the guest. I'll take care of you. Don't worry about it. It could have been a lot worse. They spared it. The Jets spared us tonight by making it a ball game. They spared us of Chris Collinsworth slobbing down Mahomes and Reid for 3 hours and 15 minutes. And then the Jets also spared us from Mike Tirico slobbing down Taylor Swift. And they lost the game. So ultimately, it was a damn good night. Cheers to the Jets. Anyway, back to the beginning of the game. My wife was in the kitchen, said, who's playing tonight? Jets and Chiefs. She said, oh, shit. She said, you know what, though? This might actually be a good game. I said, what? She said, you know, the Jets defense is really good. And the Chiefs are struggling. I said, you didn't see what they did last week, did you? She was like, no, but she said, who they play? I didn't want to tell her because I knew she was going to call my bluff when I told her, you know, like my wife is smarter than the average, you know, fan, right? She's like, no, who they play last week? I was hoping she didn't ask me that shit. I just wanted to flex on her. You know what they did last week? The important question wasn't what they did last week. It was the who did they do it to? She asked the right question because she's my wife. And I said, reluctantly, I tried to, you know, not answer it. And she's like, who did they play? They played the Bears last week. She said, see, that shit don't count. They don't got no damn receivers. This is going to be a close game. I'm like, man. So she sat down here. First quarter, it's 17-0. And she's like, I'm going upstairs. And I was looking at her like, told you so, right? She'll wake up tomorrow, check her phone, see the score, and be like, see, I told you so. And I'm about to hear her goddamn mouth. And it's worth it. Chiefs won. I don't give a shit. I'll take the earful in the morning. So my wife knew the Chiefs were struggling. She said, this ain't the same Chiefs team from last year. And she's right. And we talked about this week 1 when they lost to Detroit. And they didn't look good against Jacksonville, 17-9 in week 2, but they got it done. So all's well that ends well. As we all know, what's important in this league is winning. We don't care how it looks or how you get it done. Just do it. And they did it. Last week, they looked more like themselves, dominated a bad Bears football team, took advantage of them. So much so that the whole conversation after the game was Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift. Nobody cared about who they played. They won 41-10. Who gives a shit? The Jets said, we're not doing that on our watch. This whole shit won't turn into, you know, Taylor Swift and how many jerseys Travis Kelce sold since they were an item. And you know, we're not doing that tonight. It's actually a football game being played, and we're going to focus on that. But that would be burying the lead. The lead is the Chiefs are struggling on offense because they don't have any receivers. That is like, you never know what you've got until it's gone. And Juju Smith-Schuster may have seemed like just a regular piece last year. But in effect, what he served as, even if you viewed him as a bottom tier 1, upper tier 2, whatever you called him in your Rolodex of receivers, he served as a guy that when shit goes awry or I need a play, I know I can go to him or I can go to Kelsey. There's an alternate option opposite of Kelsey. They don't have that right now. Because there's not a single guy at receiver right now that you see as a borderline 1, back into the League 1, upper tier 2. That's where you would slot Juju Smith-Schuster. Either he's a back into the, wide receiver 1 market, or he's at the very top of that wide receiver 2 market. Wherever you want to slot him, knock yourself up. They don't have a guy that's even remotely close. The closest guy they have is Valdez-Scantling. I think he's a number 3 on most teams. That's what he would classify as, a 3 on most teams. Juju Smith-Schuster was your 2, and Kelsey is your 1, right? So it just fit. Now there's Kelsey as your 1. There isn't a number 2, and then you get the Valdez-Scantling, and then you got just a bunch of shit behind him. Sky Moore and Kadarius Toney and Rashid Rice. I actually like him, but he's young and it's going to take a little while for him to develop. And, Justin Watson. It's a lot of stuff. None of it is in its proper slot right now. And I told you one thing about the receiver position is when you don't have the proper amount of guys in their proper slots at the top, it shifts everybody up, and now everybody's out of position. And because of it, if Kelsey doesn't get open, they're screwed. What I thought they would do a little bit more of is get the running backs involved, not just Isaiah Pacheco, but I thought we would see a little bit more of Jerick McKinnon. Because if you're hurting at the receiver position, one of these backs who can catch, Jerick McKinnon, is a guy that can help you as an outlet and be an extension of the run game. You get you those catches out of the backfield and really help the offense move along. We really didn't see him tonight. It was the Isaiah Pacheco show. Co-starring Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Not a lot of Jerick McKinnon, which was surprising to me. But they're hurting at receiver, man. They got to do something. They got to hit one of these teams up before the trade deadline. If they're serious about winning, look, you don't got to win a chip every year. If you're not serious about winning a chip this year, then don't make a move at the trade deadline. Don't go and get a receiver. Just ride it out with what you got and hope Rashid Rice rounds into form towards the end of the season and you got something. I guarantee you won't even make it to the AFC Championship game with that. I guarantee you won't make it. If you're serious about hoisting another Lombardi or at least getting to the AFC Championship game for the 6th consecutive year, go get you a receiver at this trade deadline and stop playing. Other than Devontae Adams, I don't know exactly who's available. Time will tell as we get closer and teams start to see their season whittling away right before their very eyes. Maybe a receiver or 2 becomes available. But he's the prize. And if I'm the Raiders, I'm not trying to help the Chiefs out at all. At all. So I don't even think you have a chance of getting your hands on him. I'm not helping you win a Super Bowl if I'm the Raiders. I don't give a shit. Now, you start talking reckless about what you're willing to give up to get him, and then maybe we can talk. I don't see the Chiefs doing that, though. I don't see them doing that. So you got to figure something out. And I don't know what your financial situation looks like cap-wise and what you can squeeze into your cap for the remainder of the season. You got to figure something out, though. This shit ain't good enough. I can tell you that right now. You can squeak by the Jets and you can beat up on the Bears and you can barely get by Jacksonville with this shit that you got right now. You ain't beating Buffalo. You're not beating Miami. You won't even beat Miami with this shit you putting on the field. That's real talk. You ain't beating Miami with this shit. So I don't even know if you're beating the Chargers. I mean, it's the Chargers. They find ways to self-destruct and blow shit. But if the Chargers get their act together, you know they know how to play you. They knew how to play you when you had Tyreek Hill. They knew how to play you when you had Juju Smith-Schuster. They knew how to play you when you had Tyreek Hill and you had Samuel Watkins. You think they can't play you when you have no receivers and just Travis Kelce? You better hope they banged up when you see them. I don't know when the first time that you see them is. But if they healthy by then, I mean, obviously Mike Williams is out for the season, but they got their guys back and they healthy. Like there was no Bosa today. There was no Derwin James today. Like if they got all their shit, you might not even beat them. So you better start calling around the league. Kind of, you know, look, all you're trying to do is put out fielders right now. Like, look, season's still young. You may not be willing to part ways with anybody right now. But say the end of, because the trade deadline is the end of this month. We are now into October for those of you who are not aware. End of the month we're in October. This is the 1st of October. So end of this month is trade deadline. Start putting in some calls, putting out some feelers. Hey, we interested. If you having a yard sale, hit my line. Okay. I'll be checking in from time to time just to make sure that ain't shit changed. But if you thinking about moving a dude or two, or you interested, or you listening, you might not be looking to move them. But if you listening, I got a lot to say. I'll be checking in. Just make sure you hitting up some teams around the league to see what's really good. Make sure it's the ones that's 0 and whatever, 1 and whatever right now. See what they talking about. Because you need something. Because what you got right now, it ain't good enough. It ain't good enough. I assure you it ain't good enough. Your best bet was to hope that Tampa Bay sucked. They 3-1. They won today. That you needed them to lose today and then just hit this mean slide and be like, hey, man, Mike ain't coming back, bro. Let me get him off your hands. Let me get Mike Evans up off you, bro. You don't need him. Let me get that. They're not looking to move him when they 3-1 and they got their eyes on the division. So that ain't happening. You better find somebody that's downtrodden, that's got a veteran receiver just rotting away. I don't know who that is. I was looking at Tennessee and saying, hey, that same DeAndre Hopkins shit I was telling you about in the offseason that you should have jumped on. Tennessee starts stinking. You can hit them up. Them boys, last week they was leaking. Them boys, they got left stinking in the street last week. All kinds of bullet holes in them. Left for dead. This week, I picked them. I knew they would do this at home because they had a different team at home. And the Bengals aren't good this year. That's another team. If the Bengals keep stinking, you better hit them up for T. Higgins. Stop bullshitting. That's another one. If the Bengals stinking it up, hey, come on. Hey, if I'm Cincinnati, I ain't giving you shit. I ain't giving you a motherfucking thing. Same with the Raiders. I ain't giving you shit. Call somebody else. Unless you're talking reckless. I know the Bengals. They turned down 2 first-round picks for Chad Ochocinco back in the day from Washington. They do shit off principle over there. They different. They move different. You giving up 2 first-round picks for a receiver, and he's yours. Where you want me to send him at? you want it in a box with a bow on it? Where you want it at? They do shit different over there. They do shit off principle. So you ain't getting T. Higgins from the Bengals, even if they suck. Isaiah Pacheco was special tonight. I really like him. You can do a lot of good things with a guy like him on your football team. And I like their running back position as a whole. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Jerick McKinnon. That group right there is strong. Love their tight end position. Noah Gray, obviously Travis Kelce, Blake Bell. They got a nice, strong tight end group. It's just the receivers. And the offensive line is, it's a question mark. We talked about them swapping out the tackles in the offseason. and not for the better either. You know, I never thought I would say this. They actually missed Andrew Wiley at right tackle in Kansas City right now. Hey, go ahead. I never thought I would say that. They would gladly take Andrew Wiley back right now. Jawan Taylor is stinking it up. He literally was the start of the rally tonight. He started that shit with the safety. And he didn't stop there. Holding penalties, all kinds of shit he was into tonight. Face mask, that's what the safety was about. Yeah, he is a piece of work. Good luck with that. You got Donovan Smith on the other side, who he can be a little interesting at times. He was on his best behavior tonight, but we know he can get real nasty too. So we'll see what happens there. But the defense was not its best, but it wasn't terrible. And when they needed them the most, they made plays. And it wasn't always because they were their sharpest. Zach Wilson had the fumble, and, you know, Wharton was just Johnny on the spot, scoop it up. But they made enough stops. You know, when this thing got 20-20, and the offense was stalling out. Chiefs offense was stalling out, and the Jets had the ball at least twice with the score 20-20. And the Chiefs and with some great field position at that. One of them, they started their drive just slightly behind midfield. Literally. They were a few yards away from midfield, and the defense came on the field and got the Jets off the field. So you got to give that Chiefs defense some credit, especially without Nick Bolton tonight. They stepped up and they got it done. And it was tough because usually they got their offense they can rely on. Not tonight. And I think they realizing, because this is the third time in 4 games that they offense ain't show up and they had to build the offense out. I think they realizing, hey, it's on us. We got to do this shit. And they're not used to that. But they got it done. And then when they needed the offense the most late in the game, and the officials out, I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about the officials and the role they played in the game tonight. They helped. But the Jets helped too. You can't give up 25 on a Patrick Mahomes scramble on 3rd and 22. The officials ain't had shit to do with that. Now, even if he would have came up short, they called illegal contact because you let Mahomes stand back there literally for 7.5 seconds. I counted. I can't recall the last time I seen a quarterback have that much time on a play. That wasn't like a Hail Mary or some bullshit ass play. You literally rushed 3 and dropped 8. And 7 of the 8 dudes were 30 yards down the field. What the was that? I complained about this when Notre Dame lost to Ohio State last weekend. I will never understand this. And I'm gonna say this real quick. I will never understand why a defensive coordinator will get away from the shit that got them. If you win in a game 14-10, like the Irish were, why you get away from the thing that allowed you to be leading the game and only having given up 10 points to this point of the game? I don't understand that. If you the Jets and Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs scored 17 points in the first quarter and has only scored 3 points the entire rest of the game, or 6, because it was 20-23 at that point. They've only scored 6 points the entire rest of the game. I will never understand why you get away from the stuff that has worked to get you to this point where you're in this game. Why you think it's okay to drop 8 guys 30 yards and down the field and 8 yards beyond the sticks on 3rd and 22. So Mahomes can run for 25 yards. Where's the psychological sense in that? You think that's smart? Do me a favor. Find the nearest restroom. You at home? Find your bathroom. The nearest bathroom. Upstairs, downstairs, wherever you at. Right faucet. Don't touch the left faucet. All the way. all the way up. Let it run for 7 seconds. Let it get nice and ice cold. Both hands, put them together under the faucet. Get a nice handful, a nice couple palmfuls right here. Nice little cup. You see this cup I created right here? See that cup? Huh? Fill it up. Wash your face and get your mind right. That's dumb football. So they help too. But if you're the Chiefs, understand that if you played anybody else in that division not named New England or the Jets tonight, you lose. You better fix this shit. Sorry, not sorry. You got it done, though. You're 3-1, and the beauty of winning is you figure it out while winning, and you keep trying to fix the shit on the fly, but you're winning. That's the important part. As for the Jets, this was I just want to see who's up next on the schedule. Broncos. You should win that game. The Broncos absolutely suck ass. They won today. They were down 28-7. And they came back and won. But they suck ass. So you got a shot next week to win. Then you got the Eagles. After that, you got a bye week, and then you come off the bye and you got the Giants. That actually might be a fun game because by then, both of y'all might be, the Giants might be 1-6, and you might be 1-5 by then. If you don't beat the Broncos, you're not beating the Eagles with this shit you doing. You're not beating them. They're gonna tear Zach Wilson a new asshole. You ain't beating them. Your season is probably done. You needed to win this game. It's tough to bounce back from 1-3. I've seen it done, but you don't have a quarterback to do it. He was all right tonight. I'm proud of Zach Wilson for fighting because I saw, like, you know, again, I don't watch these shows, but people bring this stuff to my doorstep. Somebody sent me a clip of Mike Greenberg talking about how he never wants to see Zach Wilson play another snap for the Jets again. You know, Rich Eisen is a Jets fan, and he was ready to call up everybody, including the National Guard, you know. And every time they're ready to just pronounce Zach Wilson dead, he does something like this to totally redeem himself. and force Jets fans to take a step back and say, hey, if you could just play like this, we can win some games against lesser teams. You ain't gonna beat Kansas City, right? But you can beat Denver. If he plays like this, you'll beat Denver. You play like this, you'll beat the Giants. You might even beat the Chargers, who you have the week after the dang on Giants, right? You can win games with the Zach Wilson we saw tonight. No interceptions, great throw, back shoulder throws, throwing receivers away from coverage, you know, getting the ball out of his hands, not taking stupid sacks, not putting the ball in harm's way. That also opens up the run game. Teams were the Patriots were loading the box up. I dare you to throw the ball. I double dog dare you to throw the ball. So that opens up Breece Hall. What a tackle by James Cook. Let me say that one more time because what a tackle by James Cook. You might have saved my goddamn survivor pool with that shit. Let me get it. God damn it. Standing Ovi for goddamn James Cook tonight. God damn it. Standing mother effing Ovi. I forgot about that play. How could I forget about it? He saved my goddamn survivor pool. If he go for a touchdown, it's 2020. The shit's over. I don't trust the Chiefs' ass tonight to score the goddamn touchdown. Shit is over. He's in open space, open field, running, turning, and he gets a piece of the jersey. He says, not today, bro. He tried to stiff arm his ass to hell, and he held on for dear life and got him on the goddamn ground. Save my goddamn survivor pool. Shout out to James Cook. Cheers. That defense deserves better. I'll say that. It started off rough tonight. You can't give up 17 points in the first quarter and expect to win anything. Generally, they literally gave up 6 points the rest of the game. Probably had a pick robbed from them late in the game. Probably. It was holding, but they could have not called that. They didn't need to call that. I appreciate you for the call. And then they self-destructed a little bit. They did some things that allowed the Chiefs to, maintain possession. But Jeff Albrecht, I don't really know what you were thinking on 3rd and 22, but that's nor here nor there. The bottom line is there were opportunities. They dropped like 2 picks. Zach Wilson missed a touchdown down the field, open receiver. He fumbled a snap. They missed a field goal before half. He missed a wide open Randall Cobb right before the half. After that, Mahomes threw a pick and gave it right back to him, and they got right back to midfield. And Randall Cobb is running open, underneath on a slant, and all he has to do is hit him for about a 5 to 7 yard gain. If Cobb would have done the rest, and they would have had, Cobb probably gets another 7 to 8 yards after the catch, gets down, they call their final timeout, and you kick the field goal. They missed so many opportunities to win this game. And that's what bad football teams do. The good teams find ways to win. The bad teams find ways to lose. Hence, the Jets are 1-3. They could have beat New England last week, but they're not a good team. So they found a way to lose. And the Chiefs are 3-1. Haven't played the best. Found a way to beat Jacksonville. Found a way to win this game. And that's what good teams do. They find ways to win. It doesn't always have to be pretty. It just has to be gritty and, most importantly, a Dubsky. That's what they did. Zach Wilson survives for another week. They were tearing him to shreds last week. We saw the articles. This locker room is split. Robert Saleh runs the risk of losing this Jets locker room if he continues to play Zach Wilson. Zach bought himself another week with his performance tonight. Because you look at what he did tonight, and you can't just put it on Zach Wilson and say, well, they lost the game because of that. Yeah, the fumble was huge. Don't know what would have happened on that drive, but down 3 at that point, on the move, you'd like to think that at worst, they could have at least gotten in the field goal range or threatened to get in the field goal range. Who knows what happens? But it didn't get to happen. So anyway, I digress. Let's get to the comment section. See what you guys got to say. All right. Frankie, yep. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB, who writes, sad the refs robbed us of a Jets 2-minute drill. That holding call was awful. Much better game than anticipated. Hey, Frankie, see, you don't understand what was at stake. 90% of the survivor pool had the Chiefs, including me. I don't care about nobody else. I care about me. I had the Chiefs, 90% of the survivor pool had the Chiefs. We didn't want to see this game come down to the wire. We didn't want to see the Chiefs sweating. We didn't want to see the Jets with an opportunity, with a 2-minute drill. None of that shit. No, we didn't need that. That game ended the way it needed to end without me having a heart attack. I didn't have another heart attack to give. Much better game than we all. And you know what? In the grand scheme of things, we got the best of both worlds because, again, had this thing been 34-3, it would have been pain, torture, and I would have had to mute the TV. It would have been pain and torture because we would have got 3 hours of a slurp fest. Team Tirico would have been with Swift. Team Collinsworth would have been with Mahomes. And it would have just been egregious. Independent outsider. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes? Don't care they lost. You were right about how. Thank you. I don't need the validation, but thank you. I appreciate the acknowledgement, but I already knew. This is what I tell people. I don't start campaigns around randos. Ron's plan, people mock me for Ron's plan, and that's fine. But I've already told you, without Ron Rivera, we don't exist. I know that sounds crazy, but with a lesser coach, this organization would have sunk to depths and lows that you can't even imagine. Let Jay Gruden have been the coach of this team with the shit that we just went through. Name change, allegations every other week, all kinds of scrutiny. You think Jay Gruden would have handled that shit? We'd have been the laughingstock of the NFL. Ron at least kept us respectable, all the while helping build a formidable roster. You say what you want. You don't have to love Ron. You can want him fired, all that good shit. But Ron's plan was successful. If for nothing else, making this team formidable and putting them in a much better spot than where he found us at. He did his job. He helped change the culture like he said he wanted to when he got here. Wish more winning was attached to it, but beggars can't be choosers. I already told you what Sam was going to be. You can either listen or not. That's fine. I'm salmon over here. Matter of fact, make it a double with cheese. But I appreciate that, independent outsider. Duncan Wright. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB. My guy Duncan writes, what do you mean, Lou, that we just slipped by you guys? You won the game 34-31 in overtime with Terry McLaurin's foot being this much out of bounds, if at all out of bounds. What do you mean you just slipped by? Did you watch the game? Or are you drunk already? Kind of a question is that, Duncan? That's not what happened. What we did was we took care of business and left hand down. You won the game. I'll just say that. I'm not here to demean you because you won the game. Ain't shit else for me to say. And ain't shit else for you to say either. Just take the win and move along. Like, don't try to justify this or that. Don't make no excuses for this or that. Move along. Because all the shit you was talking last week about this and about that, none of that shit came to fruition. The only thing that came to fruition that you said you was going to do was you won. And you won. So, there it is. Have at it. The running game, the blowout, Sam Howell sucking, all of that shit, none of that shit came to fruition. All the shit that I said would happen, happened except for the most important part. And that's why I'm not going to try to say nothing. Because you guys won the game. There were 9 items on the checklist. Winning was at the top. And then you take 5 steps and you get to the other 8 items. I got all 8 items right. I just didn't get the one that mattered the most. So it negates the other 8. Not for me. But for you, it negates the other 8 items. And that's fine. I understand that. I ain't mad. I ain't glad. But I get it. Ash writes, AFC South looks wide open. Let's go Texans. Why not? Shit. CJ Stroud playing with confidence. Defense is now starting to look like I thought they would look when the season started. I had lost confidence in them after week 2 when they let the they let the Colts run it up on their ass. Run it up. But since then, they went to Jacksonville, put an ass whooping on them, went home, put an ass whooping on the Steelers, knocked Kenny Pickett out the game. Now, all of a sudden, that defense is looking like it did in San Francisco. Yes, you're 2-2. The Titans are 2-2. And the Colts are 2-2. And the Jags are 2-2. Why the hell not? Why not you, right? I can name the reasons why not, but shit, why not you? You already beat who we perceive to be the best team in your division already. You went to their place and did it too. Why not you? We'll see what happens. Go Texans. I'm with you. I'm looking to break the Ohio State quarterback curse. Go make it happen. Because you know I feel good about CJ Stroud. So go make it happen. Jonathan Hankey, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Jonathan Hankey writes, damn, Louie, would be nice for my Colts getting a win today. I picked them. I watched. So I wanted your game on TV, and I couldn't get you guys in the multi-view. They didn't have an option with Bills, Dolphins. So my deal breaker was it had to have Bills, Dolphins, and Titans, Bengals in it because I knew I was going out on a limb with the Titans. So I needed those two games in there. I really wanted Saints and Bucks, but that wasn't a deal breaker for me. I didn't have to have that one. I needed the first two, and I couldn't find a multi-view with those two in and yours in there. So I didn't get to see your game. But then Bills were administering an ass whooping, Bucks were administering an ass whooping, and the Titans were administering an ass whooping. So I was able to go away from that and go to you as you were tying the ball game up, going for two, and then you had your chances. You had your chance. Kyler Granson, I could smack Kyler Granson right now for dropping that damn back shoulder throw from AR. That was a dime, and he dropped the shit. I don't like y'all not running the ball like y'all didn't have time, but they got you in overtime. I'm pissed because I picked y'all to win the game, and y'all didn't, but at least you fought. I know there's no such thing as a moral victory, not mortal, moral victory, but I was very happy with AR's performance, especially him making a close comeback. I thought he did some good things in that comeback. You guys were down 20-0 at one point. I think it was 20-0 before you scored. It might have been 23-0 before you scored that eight piece. So it might have been 23-0 before you scored 23 unanswered to tie the game up. Whatever the case may be, I was proud of how y'all fought, but that don't do nothing for me because y'all lost, so I got a loss. But like you said, as a fan watching it, the resiliency that your team showed and that Anthony Richardson showed coming back from being down 23, that's huge. You need to see that out of a young quarterback. Mike Jink, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. My guy, Mike Jink, thank you for being a member of the MOBB who writes, good games, Louie. What's Arizona record if they had K1? I don't know. That's a great question. I'm not sure how teams would have played them and how those games would. It's hard to say. Because easily you could look at the Washington game and say, oh, they would have beat you with Kyler Murray. But you don't know how we would have played them had they had Kyler Murray. You don't know how that game turns out. You don't know if Kyler Murray, they would have had a more, expansive offense and Murray might not have thrown 2 picks. You don't know what would have happened. It's hard to say. Because the playbook, the game plan you're going to have for Josh Dobbs, who just got there, 10, 12 days ago, when we played him in week 1 is different than what you're going to have for Kyler Murray, who's been there the whole offseason. So while Murray is a jitterbug and he's hard to eat, but Murray also throw no-look passes like he Eli Manning. Who knows what he would have done? A little pressure on him, who knows what he would have done? Could have scrambled and escaped and made some shit happen. Could have thrown it away. So I don't know. That's a hard question to answer. You'd like to think that their record would be better than what it is at 1-3. You'd like to think that they would be 2-2, no worse than 2-2, maybe 3-1. But you can't say that. You can't say that they would have had the start to the game against the Giants that they had with him in the line. You don't know. You don't even know if they would have won the Cowboys game with him. Whole game plan might have been different. Frankie, yo, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. Who writes, so happy Taylor Swift is allowing these NFL games to happen in her world. Who knows, the NFL could become mainstream because of her. You know what's crazy? Is the NFL, they such whores, they don't even see what's happening right now. Taylor Swift is using them for her next album when she breaks up with Travis Kelce and writes 12 songs about that relationship and polys that shit into another double platinum album and a whole world tour, right? That's all this shit is her writing, her setting up her next album and all the shit that she's going to write after being with Kelce for 3 months and breaking up with his ass. And did y'all see her promoting her new movie, which was, the tour? Did you see that shit? She is a genius. She's a fucking genius. Shout out to Taylor Swift for being a goddamn genius, a marketing genius. They promoting her shit, commercials and shit during the game. Are you kidding me? Taylor Swift is a marketing machine. Cheers. "24-year Snyder survivor." Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB who writes, Chiefs to EB. Yo, y'all have any extra receivers over there? We damn sure do, and you can't have none of them. We need all our shit. You can't have nail one of them. When I said you got to go to a team who's bottoming out, I wasn't talking about us. Our shit don't look like who you need to be contacting. Don't call us for shit. We ain't got nothing for you. We need all our stuff. What we got ain't what you need anyway. You need a number one. All the guys that resemble anything close to a 1 or a high level 2, we holding on to. You want Byron Pringle? You can have him. That ain't gonna do shit for you. You just add him to the collection of stuff you already got. We ain't got shit you want because you ain't getting Curtis Samuel, you ain't getting Jahan Dodson, you ain't getting Terry McLaurin. So you don't even need to call us. Ethan Dykes, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. My guy writes, any chance Commanders make any trades this year? No. Trade for what? What position? What you thinking? I can tell you right now, we ain't trading for shit. But what you thinking about? Duncan Wright, been a member for 12. Says, I salute you. Great moral victory, my main man. Ain't nobody looking for no moral victories over here. Don't put that shit on us. Ain't nobody saluting no moral victories. We all we did was we displayed what you really are to the rest of the league. That's it. You were fraudulent 4-0. You got by because of the level of competition you've been playing. We ain't a part of that, though. Like, we pushed your ass to the limit, and you shouldn't have got away, and you did. Barely. That's fine. You'll be exposed to it. Your shit about to get real, really real over the next, let's call it month and a half. You got a couple more games, Rams, and I just told you were playing the Jets. You got a couple more layups, and then after that, layups are done. Full court press on your bitch ass. See how you handle that shit. I can't wait because I know you losing it 3 or 4 of them shits. Easy. The Q-Bone. What's going on, Q? Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes? What up, Lou? What up, Q? What's good with you, man? Good win for your Jags today. Jado. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you, my guy. Jado writes, what up, Lou? What's up, Jay? Did you see Ritter today? Oof. I didn't. I don't have ESPN Plus, and I wasn't. Look, you want me to go buy ESPN Plus or at least tap into a little free trial? I'm not doing it for Jags and Falcons. Yeah, right. You got to put some real teams up there. No disrespect to the Jags and Falcons, by the way. But I wasn't doing that. I can just watch it on replay on my NFL Plus package. So I'll watch it back then. But I saw a little bit of it. I know he had a receiver late in the game, out of bounds, that thing. I saw the pick 6. multiple times. Darius Williams, who I really loved when he was in LA, picked him off and took it the other way. I already told y'all about Desmond Ridder, so you guys are acting as if I'm surprised. Somebody actually said, hey, they need to go to Heineke. I'm like, nah, you can't go to Heineke until after week 6. I don't give a shit what you do after 6. I don't want to see Heineke because you know he'll have an axe to grind, and that could get real ugly. Let me get Heineke after week 6. You want to do whatever you want to do after 6 is cool with me. Don't leave Ridder ass in until I need Desmond Ridder in week 6. Then you can do whatever you want to do after that. So, I know it wasn't good, and I know they're going to evaluate, but if you're serious about giving Desmond Ridder, like similar to the Texans last year with Davis Mills, if you're serious about giving a dude a real opportunity, just let him rock. See what he can do. Like, it's no it's too early to be even thinking about moving on him, right? Let him rock. Let him work through some of these, rough games. Like, I don't even know why there's a discussion being had. Like, literally, that's crazy to me. Same thing with Howell after last week. Like, what are we talking about? If you really going to give a dude a fair shot, you got to let him rock through some of the rough games too. So, if I'm the Falcons, I don't think they're actually even entertaining doing anything with Ridder right now, nor should they. Like, you need to find out if this dude can play or not. Because if he can't, okay, cool. We'll go get us a quarterback. If he can, then we need to continue to support him and give him everything he needs to succeed. So we'll see what happens. He wasn't good today. I'm aware. The Booty Creek Cheek Freak. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB, who writes, off topic, why can't Eagles fans admit that we played well instead of some of them claiming it was the coordinator's fault? Why are you looking to them for acceptance? Why are you looking to them for validation? Why? Is there some kind of insecurity that you have? I'm not looking for any validation from none of them. You see the hat? That says it all. I don't need them to tell me Sam played well. I told them before he played well, he was going to play well. I don't need you to tell me he played well. I know what he did today. I know what he's capable of. I already knew what he was going to do before he did it. So why do you need validation? Again, you trying to get validation from people with IQs of 40 or less. We call those bird brains. You want validation from them? You're right. All you need to do is focus on what you need to see as a fan to feel good and confident in what we got going on. Whether you haven't seen it yet, or you saw it today, or you've seen it, or you already believed and you didn't need, today was just further validation on what you already knew. That's what you need to be focused. Don't focus on what Giants fans, Eagles fans, Cowboys fans got to say. They shit don't matter. They'll find out. Whether they're giving us credit or not, I don't care. I already told you. I got something for that. Call it salmon. Let me get a double salmon with cheese. Let me get some fries too. And a shake. June. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. June writes, Sammy Sosa put the whole league on. No, don't call him Sammy Sosa. don't. I don't know why Chase Young did that. Do not, I repeat, do not call my guy Sam Howell Sammy Sosa. Don't do that. We're not doing that. Not on this program. You can do that somewhere else. Don't do that here. That's funny. John Perez, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. JP writes, sup, Lou? Sup, JP? Good that your survivor pool is still going, unlike last year. You remember week 1 last year. For you, it was good times. For me, that was a rough patch of my life. That was rough. NBA starts this month, which is exciting. Are you going to watch Media Days tomorrow? Of course not. I'm not locked into the NBA. Usually I don't get locked into the NBA until after the NFL is done. Now, I try to just keep up with what's going on, wins and losses wise. I'm not actually watching games and locked in until like the NFL is my life. It's my livelihood. So I'm locked into this all the way. But I keep tabs on what's going on, just enough to be dangerous. I can have a conversation with you. But it's not until the season's over that I really lock in. And then, Major League Baseball playoffs about to start. My Braves are in a prime position to win it. Like the basketball is the last thing on my mind right now, to be honest with you. John Perez, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. JP writes, also, good luck to your Braves in the postseason, man. I appreciate it. I need it. Because a lot of people just assume we're going to win the World Series, and that shit is not easy. And we do not have a great starting rotation. And, Max Fried has a blister on his finger. Charlie Morton has an injury. And, Spencer Strider is hit or miss. He could win Cy Young, but he could also get wooded up for 5 runs in the first 3 innings. I don't really know what the hell they're going to do. And you don't want to be relying. And our offense has been, the catalyst all season long. You don't want to rely on that in the playoffs, though. It's great. It's a great tool to have. We got the nastiest lineup in baseball, but postseason baseball is different, as we all know, in all sports. Just about the postseason is different than the regular season. So we'll see what happens. Thanks for the well wishes, though. Ethan Dykes, my guy. E, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. My guy E writes, my pop says trade an edge for Kyle Pitts. Nah. First of all, the Falcons not doing that. It don't make no sense because let's say you end up landing Drake May or Caleb Williams. He gonna need somebody. Like, you don't want to put Caleb Williams in a position that Bryce Young is in Carolina. Like, you want to make sure you got weapons. You got weapons already. You got Drake London. You got Kyle Pitts. You got stuff that you can, and then you can add more to it. But that's the foundation right there. And then also, of course, you got Bijan Robinson. You got the foundation right there. You don't want to break that up if you're Atlanta. You want to add to it. You want to get the quarterback that's going to send you over the top with all that talent you already drafted. He's not available. I know there's a lot of rumors out there that suggest he might be available. He might be frustrated. You can be frustrated all you want. That don't mean you going nowhere. If I'm Atlanta, he's not even available. Don't hit my line. Robert Gamble Jr. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, Eagles survive, nothing more, nothing less. They survive, but that's the name of the game, right? Is find a way to win. They did that. I don't take anything away from them. Like, I'm not looking to make any excuses. They beat us. Jalen Hurts was fantastic. They made winning plays when they had to be made, and they got it done. I got nothing but the utmost respect for the Eagles. I know that energy is not going to be reciprocated, and that's okay. That's okay. My IQ is higher than 40. So I can actually acknowledge the fact that the other team played good and not make it feel like that demeans me in any way. They can't do that. That's what happens when you have a low IQ. You're not able to think about something other than, how does this benefit me? They got away, but they won the game. It's not like we turned it over 3 times and gave them the game. No, they won the game. They made plays. Gotta give credit where credit is due. The Phillies Ace 34. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB who writes, Braves, Phillies, y'all been good all year. Be humble. I'm going to be honest with you. Can I keep it a buck with you? Because I know I can. I don't really want to play y'all. I would love somebody to do my dirty work before I get to you. I don't really want to play y'all. Because I know y'all not afraid of me. Because y'all a family member. Y'all know us. And y'all not afraid to do us. So I really don't want to play you. I'd rather play the Dodgers than play y'all. That's real talk. But you didn't hear that from me. I don't want to pump your little head up full of, all these, sugar plums and, dancing fairies and shit. But y'all are dangerous. And y'all were in the postseason last year and went all the way to the World Series. So y'all, this whole environment ain't too big for y'all. But we'll see what happens. Anyway, I digress. VGK 0803 says you more worried about the bullpen. I'm not. I'm way more worried about the starting rotation, especially with the injuries that just cropped up. In this first series, we're going to be without Charlie Morton, and Bryce Elder is going to have to pitch as our third starter. Now, granted, because of the way that series is going to be set up, Max Fried can pitch games 1 and 4, and Spencer Strider can pitch games 2 and 5. I feel good about that. But what happens if you lose one of those 2 games and then you got Bryce Elder starting game 3? I'm not confident about that shit. You can be. I'm not. So I'd much rather have Charlie out there. Well, there's no Uncle Charlie. So I'm more worried about the starting rotation. But that's just me. Anyway, I digress. Chiefs get it done tonight, 23-20 over the New York Jets. Valiant effort by the Jets, but they fall short, drop to 1-3 on the season. Chiefs survive. They got bigger issues on their hands. They got to have something at the receiver position. It is not in their locker room right now. They got to figure something out, but they survive again, and now they're 3-1 on the season. Let me look at the Chiefs schedule real quick. See who they got coming up, because they've been getting by. I know they got some toughies coming down the pipeline here shortly. See who the Chiefs got coming up. I just spoke the Chargers into existence. So they got the Broncos. They're going to win that game. Hold on. They got the Vikings. They're going to win that shit. The Broncos, they're going to win that shit. Then they got the Chargers. That's what I'm waiting on. Chargers, then the Broncos again, then the Dolphins, then the Eagles, Raiders, Packers. So, yeah, they shit about to heat up. But they don't heat up for a little while. They're going to probably be like 7-1. Let's see. 4-1, 5-1. Okay, the Chargers, they'll be 5-1 when they play the Chargers. And they could lose that game. It's at home, though. But that ain't never meant nothing to the Chargers. Chargers don't mind coming in the Arrowhead and doing those boys. If they beat them, they'll be 6-1. They're going to beat the Broncos. I think they're going to sweep the Broncos, 7-1. Chiefs is that Chiefs game, they'll be either 6-2 or 7-1 going into that Chiefs Dolphins matchup. And that's in the international series, so that's overseas. If I could see that's either they're going to be 6-2, 7-1, and that's when shit gets real for them. It's Dolphins, it's Eagles, Raiders, Packers, Bills, Patriots. That's when shit starts to heat up for them. So it really starts with this Chargers game because family business is different. The Broncos know how to play them. The Chiefs, the Chargers know how to play them. The Raiders know how to play them. They might not always beat them, but they know how to play them. So anyway, I digress. That's going to do it for me, your man Louie T, here on Sunday Night Football Overtime. Got one more super chat. The Phillies Ace 34. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. All right, Lou, we have family business to handle. Let's go. Lou, y'all good, but my Phillies want you outside. I really don't want to play the Phillies. I'm going to be honest with you. If we got to play them, I don't mind taking y'all out, but I don't really want to have to do that. I really would prefer to play somebody else. But we'll see how everything. Y'all made it. The Marlins made it. We made it. So our division got 3 teams in it. So we're going to see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. Anyway, y'all get out of here. Enjoy the rest of your evening. We'll be back tomorrow. Monday Night Football. Giants hosting the Seattle Seahawks. Y'all know what it is. God bless. Good night.